refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV. We're here in Abu Dhabi, the Rising Stars Arabia press conference, all finished now, all weighed in now. It's all about a big night here in Abu Dhabi tomorrow night. I'm joined by Ahmed Seddiqi. Yeah, got that part out of the way now.
Good to see you again, KUGAN.
Absolutely. Glad you got this part out of the way now.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling more relieved right now. So looking forward for tomorrow night. Really.
Ahmed, talk to me a little bit about the concept of Rising Stars Arabia. I mean, we can guess and obviously know that from that grassroots level about bringing these fighters through, which is something that you've wanted to do and have been doing for some amount of years now. But a bit different here. You've got the backing of Abu Dhabi, and also from Dazn and ESPN Knockout. This is changing a little bit now.
I mean, you know what we've been doing in the past, but this is a bit different, It's all started at round 10, the gym. Exactly 10 years ago, tomorrow is going to be the 10th year anniversary of the gym. That was the home of boxing in the whole region, and no boxing existed at that time. We pioneered the professional boxing over here, and I thought, just to give a gift back to the boxing community in our part of the world, this event, this series of fights for the Arabs, because we don't have no platform. We don't get the attention in boxing, Arab fighters. I'll be very honest and clear, we don't. I mean, Arabs coming from the Arabian countries, not Arab living in the UK or in the US. From this part, we haven't been getting the attention. So, I mean, me being involved in the sport, and I built my name, with the broadcasters, with the promoters. I thought it's time for me to give a gift for the region, and this is where Rising Stars Arabia is coming in.
I mean, when we look, it really is nations colliding tomorrow night here in Abu Dhabi. 11 countries, the fighters are from 11 different countries. I mean, it's incredible, that is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's always what I wanted it to happen, back in the days when you used to do the events and used to have it on ESPN. It was the same, but this time again, it's same, but a bit different, It's different nations from the Arab region, different nations from around the world, and all colliding in one night in Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, it looks interesting, Yeah.
I mean, I know obviously you've, over the last few years, what you've been trying to do here in this region. I'm not saying it hasn't quite happened, as I suppose, as what you may have wanted, your vision from 2 or 3 years ago, but you're still doing it, and you're still kind of, you're still there, you're still relevant here, and you're still kind of trying to push for the sake of grassroots boxing, which is very important here.
Yes, I mean, if I don't do it, nobody would do it. Nobody would do it. I know that, I'm saying that in a very humble way. What's happening in the whole region is they go on to the big fights to promote the countries or cities, which is great. But everybody talks about doing grassroots. Everybody talks about it. And the past 2 years, I heard a lot of people talking about it, but nobody did nothing. With all the money that's going around, nobody did nothing. And I know that I have the capability of doing it because this is what I love to do. I don't like them big shows. The big shows are good for boxing, yes, for the region, yes, but I like to build them fighters. I like to see, fighters rising up from really tough backgrounds, People always think the Arab countries, it's all about money, everybody's good. No, you have Mohammed Bagdash, for example, the guy, like he said, he's been sleeping on the streets for many years, and today he's fighting on Dazn and ESPN Knockout. You have Badr Samrin, also coming from Jordan. He wasn't doing much. Now he's fighting as a main event on Dazn and ESPN Knockout. I mean, that for me is success. If I just bring in money and I put in money, we could bring any fighter here, because everybody wants to come to Abu Dhabi today or to the region. But building it from the grassroots. I mean, when I say grassroots, usually amateur, but I'm talking professional boxing grassroots. In a few years, you're gonna see some, as the name says, you know, those are rising stars. And I look at the talent myself, you know, and we choose them, you know, to see who has that talent, and hopefully they fight for world titles here, and you have the Western fighters fighting on the undercard, you know. That's how I want it to be, you know, in the future. Or, you know, two fighters from the region clashing against Western fighters, you know, for world titles. And I know it's going to happen. You know, I'm a realistic person. Maybe it's not going to happen. I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen in a few months. I'm giving it a 5-year plan. 5-year plan.
But back home in the UK, we have a lot of promoter politics that are surrounding boxing in the UK constantly. Here in the Middle East, is everyone on the same page, do you believe? From here and Dubai and Saudi, do you believe that ultimately everyone wants what's best for the sport?
I mean, I don't know. I don't put my energy elsewhere. You know, I focus on what we are doing. Whatever is happening, you know, in other countries, I love it. You know, because it's pushing my sport. You know, and it's going to push out the fighters from the region. So for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I want to, you know, Abu Dhabi respected and appreciated what I've been doing. So I'm going to give back to the people who respected me. You know. To what I've done in the past 10 years. And whoever respects me, I'm going to give it my all. And see, you know, it's a small fight. You know, some people say, oh, we don't know the names. Yes, you don't need to know the names, you know, because those are rising stars, like I said. You know, those are rising stars. And, you know, hopefully within few fights, people are going to know these names. And the region is going to know these names. And you know, all the surrounding countries around us are going to know these names, and they will want to work with them fighters, you know. So for me, I see it completely differently than you know, competing with other promoters, because again, I'm going to say it in a humble way, nobody can compete with us. I've been fixing chairs in the venues sometimes, you know, and you know, I know the whole sport inside out, you know, and I'm still young, and that happened in just 10 years. So you know, it's difficult. It's difficult to come. Yes, there are other promoters doing stuff. We're supporting them. We're helping them. But, you know, we're doing it a bit on a different level. Yes, small but different level. Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is great, which is effectively a prospect show, as we would say, in the UK. But the exposure you're having off the back of this on ESPN Knockout and also Dazn is brilliant for these fighters.
Yes, you know, again, it's people respect me in the sport. I thank God for that. I thank Allah, and I thank many people who are involved with me and helping me to reach where I am. You know, they clearly know how I'm talking about them, and you know, I appreciate support of many people involved in getting me to where I am here. It's a beautiful sport, but a very tough business. You know, to be very honest, you know, I got a lot of scars from this business, you know, but I healed them scars now, and I'm just ready to go forward. And I thank Allah for this great opportunity. And it's just a beginning of a very strong era for the region. For the region, it is a very strong era for the region. I'm very confident about it. Yes.
Well, listen, we'll look forward to a great night here in Abu Dhabi tomorrow night, Saturday the 9th. At Muadala Arena, like I said, live on ESPN Knockout and also on Dazn. Or if you're in Abu Dhabi, come down.
Yes, for sure. You know, I mean, just before we end this, you know, with whoever is going to be watching this, we would love to see the supports of Arab people to the Arab fighters from their countries. You know, because if you guys don't support them, nobody's going to support them. And with the fan bases, that's how the fighters rise up. So we call out many people to watch this. Yes.
Make sure you tune in, guys. Just before I let you go, Ahmed, I do want to ask your opinion. Yesterday we had in London we had the press conference for Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou, which will take place in Saudi at the end of October. Are you a fan of this fight? There's a lot of people with split opinions. Some people are not interested in the fight. Some people are curious about the fight. Ultimately, people probably will watch the fight. What's your thoughts?
I mean, look, as a boxing fan, you know, I'd rather see, you know, Tyson Fury fighting Alexander Usyk, of course, you know. But if you talk about the region, it's great, you know, because that's how the fan bases increase here. They wouldn't want to come see, you know, proper fights. They're gonna see those, UFC against boxing and superstars, but that will grow the fan base. So for me, it's a very positive thing for the region, and hopefully the people who are gonna watch that fight are gonna end up supporting the fighters from the region. So that's how I look at it from a different angle. But as a boxing fan, not too interesting.
But it'd be good to see, I don't know the complete undercard, but it'd be good to see some of the local fighters on the undercard of that show. I know it's not your thing, but I'm just saying it'd be good to see that.
Again, as I said previously, for me, I'm doing this so that, whatever country, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, whoever is doing big fights, I want to build young Arab talents so they could be representing on the undercards. So, if we're there, I'm happy. And I really hope we get some fighters from the region on the undercard. Of course, because, it's a big fight, end of the day. You're a fan of it, you're not a fan of it, it's a huge fight. And the talents from the region deserve to get the attention too, to be on such big cards. Like Badr was on the undercard of major events. It's nice to push them fighters and increase their fan bases. So I really hope, we could get some fighters on the undercard there, yes.
Okay, well, before any of that, it is all about tomorrow night. So have you got anything, closing words you'd like to say before we finish, Ahmed?
Just alhamdulillah, and thanks to Allah for this great opportunity, and thank you to Abu Dhabi for respecting what I've been doing in the past 10 years, and thank you to everybody who's been involved in this journey. It was a tough journey, and thanks to you as well, with all the interviews we've had, KUGAN, and I don't forget anyone, no one at all. So I'd like to thank everyone for this. It's a new beginning again, Yeah.
The dawn. Yeah.
The dawn.
Yes. See it written up there. Mr. Seddiqi, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. We will catch up with you after the show tomorrow night. Like I said, tune in. Yeah, it's going to be a great night.
Thank you. Thank you, KUGAN. Thank you.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,